All right, welcome back to another episode of the Bleav in Minnesota Football podcast, hosted by your starting kicker of the Golden Gophers, Matthew Trickett, and me, Tony Liebert. We are joined by a very special guest, the all-time winningest quarterback in Gophers football history, Tanner Morgan. How are we doing today?
Hey man, I'm doing elite. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's an honor to be on the podcast here.
First ever guest.
Hey, I mean, I'm glad Trickett picked me. I'm glad you guys picked me. You know, roommate. I'd hope I'd be on the list. So,
Yeah. So I feel like with you guys and the Gophers, a big theme of the offseason was the return of Kirk Shiraka as offensive coordinator. From your point of view, I guess, was your guys' relationship at the start of the year, like, did you just kind of pick up right where you left off, or kind of how was that reconnecting with him football wise and just socially, I guess?
yeah, I definitely think it was. Picked up where it left off, and I think it advanced pretty quickly. Because we had known each other for a long time. Um, seeing highs and lows together. Um, and I think too, I had matured a lot from 2019, which is the last year he was a coach. So I was definitely more honest with things, and it's been a great relationship, and really looking forward to having for this last year and have him back with the Gophers for sure.
Yeah. Were there like any major differences, like schematically with the offense that you've noticed that he's added that were different from 2019 and before that?
Uh, I mean, I can't really necessarily speak in depth on that. I don't
Yeah.
think there's really a ton of schematic differences or changes. I think he's a guy who believes what he believes and is willing to learn and adapt and change things. And I think he's learned a lot in the past 2 years. And again, he's I think the smartest offensive mind in college football, one of the smartest, and he's a great communicator and teacher. And the way he teaches us allows us to see the game through his eyes, which makes a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely.
So speaking of, Soraka being there in 2019 and all, he knows a lot of the skill position players since Mo, Crab have been around for quite some time now. How is he with the new guys that never knew him? Is there like any favoritism, or how is he handling the relationships there?
Yeah, I think there's no favoritism at all. With him, I think he did a fantastic job of being able to create relationships with guys he didn't know before. Um, as soon as he got here, and developing those relationships, and I think that goes a long way with the trust aspect. But he and our players on offense have done a great job of that, of developing that relationship together. And I think it's been really cool for me to see because obviously we have a really good relationship, and seeing how the guys he hadn't coached before obviously respect him and have deep and really good relationships with him. I think it goes a long way for us as an offense and as a team.
Yeah. So another theme of the offseason, I feel like, was you, Mo, Crab, John Michael Schmitz all deciding to return for another season. Guys that you came into the program with. So those are all names familiar to Gophers fans, obviously. Has there been someone in camp this offseason that has, I guess, impressed you that Gophers fans should look out for that they might not already know?
Yeah, I think for us offensively, they're guys that have played before, but have continued to work and put in a ton of work in the offseason and have gotten a lot better. In the skill position, when you look at Michael Brown Stevens, Dalen Wright, Brevin Spanford, guys who have put in a lot of work, and excited to see them go out and play this fall. But they've, put in, again, I've said it 3 or 4 times now. It's not like it just happens overnight. They have, you know, worked from January until now, and will continue to do so. And I think there's a lot of team that have done that. And again, that gives you a chance to be successful this fall. But we still got a lot of work to do leading up to this first game and throughout the season.
Yeah, definitely.
So as you're talking about new emergers on the offensive side of the ball, with John Michael Schmitz being the only starting returner coming back, what do you think the key to having success on the O-line is this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think any key to success playing on the O-line is, playing together as a cohesive unit, 5-6 pieces playing together as one. And those guys are really tight. They love each other, mess around with each other, and have a deep relationship. And so I think that goes a long way. And it all comes down to details. And, they have a fantastic coach and Coach Callahan. And, they play together as one. And that's what makes a huge difference. And John and Axel are great leaders for those guys. And I think we have a lot of guys who have, been in this program and some who had just transferred in. But, they're all guys that play really, really hard. And that makes a big difference up front and position you're playing in football.
So you're obviously coming into your 6th year with the program, 5th year as a contributor, I guess. What was your biggest focus, I guess, in the off season for you personally to improve on?
Yeah, man, I think I had a lot. But for me, it was, deepening the mastery of the system and what Coach Stracco, is wanting to do as an offense. And then, being able to just play very accurately and very confidently, which are all things that I've done, but things that I needed to improve on. And, just being accurate. I think I'm an accurate quarterback. But I want to, give guys the best chance to be successful and then catch it and then go and make something happen. But, I think that, and then, just continuing to hone in on fundamentals and, stuff like that. But again, it's every aspect of it, physically, mentally, emotionally as well. And those things give you a chance to be successful in the fall.
Yeah.
Speaking about, your improvement, your mastery of the schematics and the Soraka's offense, what are your personal goals in this season or any team goals you want to share?
Yeah, I don't really have any personal goals. And I know for some people that may be weird. I want to be the best I can be. That's really all it comes down to. I want to be the best I can be today, and then be a better version of myself tomorrow. And as a team, I think it all comes down to, doing whatever we can to be successful this fall. And, we have a lot of things that we got to get better at and improve on for this season.
So you're kind of obviously the leader of the football team as a whole, and you're kind of one of the elder statesmen on the team. I guess like even in the quarterback room, is it weird for you sometimes really realizing you're now like a full-grown adult, you're married, and you got Jacob Knuth in the room, he's 18, 19 years old?
Yeah, man, it's definitely different. The cool thing is we have guys, that are, in their 6th year as well, and guys who just got on campus. But it's fun, for me seeing the differences, socially and whatnot of stuff that feels like forever ago for me that I was going through. And but it's cool. It's cool to continue to learn from those guys too, and be able to mentor those guys any ways that I can. That's a big thing for me is helping them out in any way possible. And Cole Kramer's engaged in our quarterback room too, so 2 out of the 4 are engaged or married, so it's definitely a little different situation for sure.
So you've obviously been through a lot in the program now in your 6th year. What advice would I guess if you were talking to your younger self when you were 18, 19, freshman coming in, what advice or what would you say to that younger version of yourself?
Yeah, totally. I think the first thing I would say is football isn't who you are. It's not your identity. Um, I think playing this game is a privilege. And when you've wanted to do it for so long at this level, it can very easily become your identity. When in reality, it's not. It's what you do. And again, it's a privilege to do this. It's a privilege to be a football player here at the University of Minnesota in the Big Ten Conference. But it's not who you are. It might be what people identify you as for right now and maybe for a while, but at the end of the day, it's not who I am. So that's definitely the lesson I would tell myself, the younger version of myself, and things that I remind myself of to this day. So
Definitely. Yeah.
And just speaking off of that, I mean, I think that's huge in the culture here about
yeah,
just becoming not just a better football player, but a better person, a better man, and succeeding in every aspect of your life, academically, socially, spiritually, just making sure you hit all those bases.
yeah,
Because, like you said, everyone else is just going to identify you as a football player. You come in as a 3-star recruit, and that's how people know you initially. But that's one thing that I love about this program is you have leaders like Tanner being able to give advice like that to the younger guys and really help form them into a complete human being.
no doubt. I think something else I would tell myself too is how important nutrition. Like, take it seriously. Uh, Especially when I was younger, I feel like when I look back at pictures of me from like 2018 when I first started playing, I was like, dude, you were so fat. Like, oh my gosh, you were chunky. So, so yeah, nutrition is a big thing. We have a lot of great resources here, but clearly, um, that's something that I would have not taken more seriously, but been more informed on and more educated uh, when I was a younger player.
Yeah. So you're obviously a starting quarterback at a major university, and a lot of people have a lot of things to, I guess, say about you on Twitter, and other social media. So how, I
Yeah,
guess, do you handle not listening to those things? Because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter for you. So like, how do you not pay attention to that?
yeah, but I don't have it on my phone. I don't. That's the only way you can go about it, truthfully. Otherwise, you're gonna see it. People are gonna tag you and stuff. Um, uh, 499 with 3 followers is gonna message you. And the guy who bet on the game, who lives in New York, is gonna be pissed off that the line didn't hit. He instead of scored. So, and again, like, I love that people love college football. Um, and the fan aspect of it makes it, what it is. But you just can't listen to it truthfully. My wife has my social media stuff on her phone, and so if I needed to tweet something out or Instagram something, I'll send it to her, and she could do it. But I won't have it on my phone. I won't have it on my phone until January. So yeah, it's incognito for the season, man.
That's the way to do it right there.
Oh, I guess, how do you handle it, Matt?
Yeah, so I'm not, as serious as Tanner about it. I don't have as many things popping up on my phone.
Everyone likes to
You
bash
know,
the kicker though sometimes.
Oh, no doubt, they
oh,
love that.
with without a doubt. And I've, from games last season, I've gotten plenty of DMs about missed kicks and whatnot. Um, but sometimes you just look at them and laugh because people don't understand or see the full picture uh, of what really happens. And, they don't know the offensive scheme, what you're trying to do in a certain play, or, you know, they see what they want to see. And you just have to remember that. And me and some of the other guys, taking those DMs, you just look at it and you laugh. shake it off and just, have to remain neutral a lot of times with your headspace about it.
Stay neutral, baby. That's all
Yep.
you can.
So I was talking to Matt before, kind of his whole like game week routine and stuff. You guys are obviously now preparing for New Mexico State. I guess for you specifically, Tanner, like what's your normal like game day routine? So like when Thursday comes around, obviously gonna have a night kickoff, but like, what does your day look like as starting quarterback of the Gophers?
Yeah, for sure. The day of the game, we talk about preparing through the event, but truthfully, all the work's done throughout the week. So, for me, I wake up for the game, and it's a little different. If you're playing 11 or noon kick compared to a night game. So, uh, definitely get a great night's sleep the night before. Go to bed early. As soon as we are able to go to bed, it's put the phone down. Take the melatonins, put the eye mask on, and knock out. And then when I wake up, I like to get in the Word of God and pray, and really just neutralize myself before that. And then for a night game, we'll have breakfast, and I'll have a nice cup of Joe in the morning with brekkie. Um, it's just one of life's great pleasures. But the thing is, when we're at the meetings, I'm always studying my notes. So we'll have like a call sheet, some pictures that I've asked people to print out of their different looks, and then some different things. But I'm always studying those and going through the game in my mind, and thinking about throws, visualizing myself making throws, what the defense might bring. Um, visualizing all that stuff and what I'm going to do on this play versus this and that. Ooh, boom, boom, boom. And just constantly having that conversation with myself. And then, really we have the different things. And, a night game, I'll take, 20 or 90-minute nap, do my best to fall asleep. But sometimes it's hard to nap on game days, truthfully. But on an 8 o'clock kick, you definitely got to find a way to get at least 20 minutes in. And then before a team meal, I'll take turn a nice hot shower on, sit down, and I really just close my eyes and visualize the throws, visualize the plays. I'm throwing this to the field, boom, boom. Visualize what the stadium's going to feel like. Um, what my emotions are going to be. Then we get to the stadium. Immediately get to, well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Basically, we get to the stadium, I go out, I listen to a certain playlist, do my certain activation stuff, throw certain throws that I need to throw, a couple of deep balls, get my body activated, go back in, get all my gear ready and prep to put on, but I don't put it on yet. Go back and get RPR activated by our training staff, and then there'll be a certain time before kick where I listen to 3 or 4 songs that remind me of who I am, get me ready to go. And I just listen to those songs, eyes closed, lock in, and got my shoulder pads on and everything on, which I always use a certain strength coach to put my shoulder pads on because these things are a hassle to put on, dude. And I listen to those songs, go out, warm up. We come back and have a couple minutes, and I listen to one song, and then boom, it's time to go.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a part of what makes football such a cool sport. Because even like back when I played in high school, I feel like everyone just has a different routine, what they're ever doing before the game to get in the zone. And
Right.
yeah, I think that's what's interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to see different guys too and their personalities. What works, more laid back guys, or guys who are rapping out lyrics and stuff and just bumping music for like all day. Um, but everybody's locked in and zoned in, and it just might look different people.
Yeah.
So speaking of, the music you listen to, I know from experience, you're not one of those guys that's just blasting rap music. You said you wanted it to remind you of who you are. You want to drop any song titles?
Yeah, dude. So my playlist before the game is called WW, which is what I put on my wristbands. It stands for worship first and win. But the big W is worship. So when you're out there, it's an opportunity to worship God. And, every day we have in life is an opportunity to worship God. So the last song I listened to is, let me get the exact title. It's called, let me just pull my playlist up real quick. Who You Say I Am by Hillsong Worship. And that's just a great reminder of exactly who I am, right? That, I'm set free by the Father. And then I have the song, another elevation worship song called Echo, Crowns and Thorns, which is a song by KB, who's a Christian rapper. And then I have one just called Confidence from CS Lit. And then Refiner by Maverick City Music. But the last song I listen to is Who You Say I Am. Those others are just, good mixes. And again, I'm not defined by a win or a loss. I'm defined by God and being a child of God. So that allows me to play freely. And so that's why.
Yeah, I think that obviously a terrific mindset to have. But so we mentioned you obviously are a lot different from when you came into the program. You've been through a lot, physically on the field, off the field. You kind of went through it all though with PJ Fleck. You've been the main quarterback for as long as he's been here with the Gophers. I guess how close have you guys gotten from the time that you committed when he was still at Western Michigan to the time now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a fantastic relationship. And, we've known each other for 8 years now. So it's kind of crazy, unique for a coach quarterback tandem. But we have a great relationship, because, we can relate to a lot of things together. He's taught me a lot, mentors me through so many things, leadership, how to be a better player, how to be a better man. And so I think, we have a great relationship, and, it just only gets better throughout the years, which has been awesome for me to be here. And I'm really appreciative of him and just everything that he's done for me and everything I've learned from him.
So what's your favorite memory that you've had since you've been at the Gophers? Specific game, specific play, moment?
Man, that's a tough question.
Yeah, I would imagine, but
You know, probably one of my favorite moments, I have a lot, would be beating Wisconsin this year, or the past year.
yeah.
And, just all the hard work that had gone into it. We had just lost 2 games in a row. And the way that our team, battled in and locked in to win that game. How did we lost 2 games in a row, Tricky?
I Bleav so, because
It would have been Iowa.
No. It was Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, and then
Yeah, you're right.
we had
Yeah.
the Indiana in between, but it felt like we had lost 2 games in a row.
We had, faced a lot of adversity, found a way to win that game and come in together. And, obviously I love when the fans are on the field and rush the field, but it was such a great moment for me because after the game, I actually went in the locker room and just prayed, just thank God, because I was just so thankful for everything he had brought me through that year. Because it was a tough year for me, and I, just had a very grateful heart, and so that, means a lot to me for sure.
Yeah.
You got anything left for Tanner Trickett?
I do. One last one. So obviously your 6th year here.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of ups and downs, a lot of great teams. What sets this team apart from any other team that you've been the leader of?
Yeah, connected team, connectivity. Guys believe in themselves very deeply, believe in this team, and guys love each other and are willing to sacrifice for each other. And it's really what it all comes down to. So, again, we got a lot of work to do. You know, the season's just beginning; it's just starting. But what makes this team different is how close we are, and people are fully committed. To being the best we can be.
Yeah.
So I got one more question for you. You have been here for 6 years. Your name is now in the record books on multiple different areas. Kind of, I guess, a pretty big question, but what do you hope people, I guess, remember you for as a quarterback of the Gophers? What do you hope your legacy is with the program?
Yeah, man. I want to be a guy that left the situation a lot better than he found it, and showed people, what it's like inside of our program to go about your business, but also to serve others really well. And I hope that my legacy is bigger than football and wins and losses. It's cool to be. It is. It's really cool to be the winningest quarterback in recorded history or whatever so far. And that, like, I'm not gonna lie, that's very cool, and that's an absolute honor with all the great players that have been here. But I want my legacy to be deeper than wins and losses. Um, but I want to be the guy that brings a championship back to Minnesota too. I want to be part of that team, and that's what it comes down to. But again, I want it to be deeper than wins and losses or anything like that. It's just about being a person who left it better than he found it, and showed people what it was like to serve others.
Yeah. I guess I got one more last question, but so looking ahead this week on Thursday, New Mexico State. There's obviously a lot of off the field stuff, on the field stuff that people are talking about on social media. I know you're not on there, but there's definitely gonna people on your team that are looking at it and hearing all the stuff. So how do you as a leader and just as a team as a whole try to make sure that doesn't seep into your game plan at all and you're just treating it as another opponent?
Yeah, well, we know that anybody can beat us. We know that New Mexico State, if we're not at our best, will beat us on Thursday night. And that's what it comes down to: is we have to be ready to play a football game. It's not really about what people are saying about it, but we have to be ready to go, be locked in and ready to the game plan, and ready to go play ball. And I think our guys know that, and we've experienced that and learned those lessons from the past. So, uh, you know, they've played a game already too, and you know, have a lot of really good players and great coaches. So we have to be ready to go in and go to work. That's what it all comes down to, and give ourselves the best chance to be successful on Thursday night.
Yeah, well, if Matt's got nothing else for you, that's all I think I got for you today. I really appreciate you taking the time to hop on the podcast and looking forward to seeing you and Matt both on the field Thursday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, fellas. Honored to be the first guest.
Of course. Thank you, Tanner.
You got it, boys.